Hi everyone, it's Richard Smith again. It's May 2021 and pensions dashboards are happening. It's so exciting. This is a short 4 or 5 minute video about some ideas about how dashboards might be best rolled out. Let's think about two completely separate things. One, finding all my pension schemes, which is where a find request is sent to every pension scheme to see if they've got a pension for me. And secondly, viewing the pension income amounts that get found. So find first. How are schemes actually going to match to see whether they've got a pension? Well, they're going to look at the personal data they hold, for example, name, national insurance number, date of birth. But where do schemes get that data from in the first place back in the day? Let's look at a scheme to find out. The NHS pension scheme, big scheme, 1.6 million active members. Those, of course, are the wonderful doctors, nurses, health professionals who look after us. Thank you. Who do they work for? Well, NHS hospital trusts, GP surgeries, loads of different employers. In fact, 8,000 employers employ those 1.6 million active members. Every month after a payroll run, data is passed from those 8,000 employers to the NHS pension scheme. Let's look at another scheme, Nest. That's got 9.5 million members, amazingly from over 900,000 employers. Many of those employers are very, very small, just a couple of workers. And after every payroll run, data is passed to Nest. So that's where schemes get their personal data for their members. Of course, it's not just Nest and NHS, but every workplace pension scheme gets their personal data in this way. Sometimes, though, unfortunately, employers don't pass the right data. When I was auto-enrolled into Nest, for example, part of that process would be passing across my date of birth, but suppose my employer passed across the wrong date of birth. Nest would never know. Why would they? And decades later, when I've left that employer but I'm still in Nest, if I change my name, suppose I neglect to tell Nest. If Nest are going to match on name, it's not going to work, is it? Now, of course, pension administrators have been dealing with this issue for decades, and it's well known, and they put in loads of processes and technologies to try and improve the quality of flows from data from employers and others. Things have improved in recent years. But the bottom line, the key point is that pension schemes and providers cannot entirely control the quality of personal data updates they get or don't get from employers, individuals and others. That's going to have an issue on finding pensions. So here are my pensions that have all been found. I think if we could get to this service, it would be great. And who knows, maybe you could click on each of those logos and that would take you through to the pension provider's website. I think that would be fantastic. But suppose, for example, a couple of my schemes haven't got up-to-date personal data for me and they can't do a match, then those pensions aren't going to be found, are they? So I really think we are going to have quite a few issues with the find rate, the number of pensions that get found. In terms of rollout, I think what this means is once government's done a lot of testing with volunteer schemes, I think we should have a staged rollout of just find data. And that, I think, means we could launch a Find All My Pension Scheme service, possibly around the election or the Olympics in 2024. And crucially, then we can have a period of live running to really learn about the find rate and learn how we can improve to get that up as much as possible to 100%. Right, second topic, view pension income amounts. We know people want to see pension income amounts because they struggle sometimes to relate a pot to what they might get per month or per year in later life. So again, I've shown my pension income amounts on this screen. One of the challenges though is that pension amounts are going to be sometimes historic, sometimes as at now, and sometimes projected to various different dates into the future. It's going to be quite confusing and all different projected on different bases. This really needs to be consumer tested to see what pension income amounts people can really understand and find useful. I wouldn't want to prejudge that testing, but if you've watched my first video, you'll know that I think it might be useful to see all your pension income amounts as at now, as at the same date. But of course those won't be then projected into the future, those will be what you've built up so far. And in terms of rollout, lots and lots of consumer testing, and the key lesson from the Swedish pensions dashboard team is that you have to show people their real pension income amounts for them to start feeding back whether they understand. We could then finalise what pension income amounts people actually understand and must be provided by schemes, and then later add those to the already bedded in find service and resolve teething issues. I think there's going to be a lot of teething issues with find and a lot of other teething issues with pension income amounts. If we try and solve them both at once, we could come a cropper. I might be wrong though, and there's going to be a big discussion and debate about this during June, and I really hope you can feed in all your thoughts. Thanks ever so much for watching to the end. Stay safe and see you soon.